Have you ever received a letter? One that changed everything? This is the story of a boy who did. The rain tapped gently against the window pane as Ethan sat alone in his small apartment, the soft drumming a stark contrast to the silence within. Outside, the city was awake, alive, humming with the energy of 1,000 different lives. But inside, everything felt still, frozen in time. Today marked 5 years. 5 years since he had last seen his mother smile, heard her laugh. 5 years since she passed away. He hadn't spoken about it to anyone. Not really. Some pain doesn't ask for comfort. It just settles in, becoming a quiet, constant companion. It simply stays. He sighed, the sound swallowed by the room's emptiness, and reached for his coat, ready to face another day, pretending everything was fine. But as he did, something slipped from between the old, dusty books on his shelf. It fluttered down, landing softly on the worn wooden floor. An envelope, yellowed with age, its edges frayed and softened by time. His name was written on the front in a familiar, elegant script, a handwriting that sent a jolt through his heart. He knew it instantly. It was hers. It picketed up his breath, catching in his throat. It felt impossibly light, yet held the weight of a lifetime. The inscription read simply, "To my dearest Ethan." His heart skipped a beat, then another, pounding against his ribs like a frantic drum. With hands that trembled almost uncontrollably, he carefully broke the seal and unfolded the single sheet of paper inside. The words, written in that same beloved handwriting, seemed to whisper from the page. "If you're reading this, it means I'm no longer there to say these words myself." Ethan swallowed hard against the lump forming in his throat, the scent of old paper and faint perfume filling his senses. He could almost hear her voice, calm and gentle, reading the words aloud to him. "I know life hasn't been easy for you. You always carried the world on your shoulders, even as a child. I watched you, my sweet boy, trying so hard to be the man of the house, to take care of everything." Memories flooded his mind, vivid and sharp. Late nights spent by your bedside in sterile hospital halls, the air thick with the smell of antiseptic. The quiet, whispered prayers he'd sent up into the darkness, begging for a miracle. The brave face he put on for her, even when his own world was crumbling. The letter continued, each word a soft touch on a bruised heart. "I want you to know something important, Ethan. Something I wish I had told you more often. You don't have to be strong all the time." A single tear escaped, tracing a path down his cheek. He hadn't realized he was crying. "You are allowed to fall, to fail, to rest. You are allowed to be tired and to feel lost. And even on your worst days, my love, you are enough. You've always been more than enough." His hands shook, the paper crinkling under his grip. He had spent 5 years trying to be unbreakable, believing it was what she would have wanted. He was wrong. He read on, his vision blurring. "There is something else, something I never told you. I suppose I wanted you to grow up without labels, without limits." He held his breath. "When you were born, the doctors gave us a grim prognosis. They said you might never walk, that you might never speak properly. They saw a long, difficult road ahead." Ethan froze, his mind reeling. This was impossible. He had no memory of this, no hint of such a struggle. He had run, played, and shouted just like any other kid. "But you, my little fighter," the letter went on, "you fought every single day. You defied their expectations. You pushed yourself with a determination that left us all in awe. You taught me what real courage looks like, Ethan. You were my hero long before you ever knew it." He had never known. All his life, he had seen his mother as his source of strength, but all along, she had been drawing strength from him too. The final lines of the letter shone through his tears. "So, if you ever feel lost, if you ever doubt your own worth, I want you to remember this. Remember the little boy who refused to give up. The world is a better, brighter, more beautiful place simply because you are in it. Never, ever forget that." Outside, as if on cue, the relentless rain began to slow. A sliver of sunlight broke through the heavy gray clouds, a single, hopeful ray that sliced through the gloom and touched the room softly, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. It felt like a sign, a gentle touch from somewhere beyond. Ethan took a slow, deep breath. The first truly deep breath he'd taken in years. He carefully folded the letter, its edges now damp with his tears, and placed it over his heart, holding it there as if to absorb its warmth, its truth. And for the first time in 5 long years, he smiled. It wasn't a big smile, not a joyful one. It was small, fragile, but it was real. It wasn't because the pain was gone, or because the grief had vanished. The ache was still there, a part of him now. But he finally understood something profound. He wasn't alone. Never was. Sometimes, the words we need the most, the ones our souls are crying out for, arrive exactly when we're ready to hear them. Thank you for listening to this story. If it resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content that touches the heart.